Thank you all so much for clicking on this video. We really do appreciate it. If you have not already, click one more thing for me, the subscribe button. We are going to bring you daily NFL videos all off season and also once the season actually begins. So coming up next, we've got the latest NFL news, including some notable NFL trades. Before we get there, make sure you hit that big red button. We're going to begin with the major NFL trade that went down this weekend. The Seattle Seahawks, they are the ones who acquire Jamal Adams. The Jets get back a significant haul for their superstar young safety. 2 firsts, a third, and Bradley McDougald, who could start for them as Seattle gets Adams and a future fourth as well. It's kind of a win-win for Adams and for the Jets here now. We did break down the Seahawks side of it on our Seahawks channel. Go check that out, youtube.com/Seahawks TV. But Adams made it very clear he wanted out. He did not want to be with the Jets. He didn't like Adam Gase. He wanted to get a new deal. He gets his wish of being traded. The Jets, meanwhile, they had a very high asking price, and they got that. 2 first-round picks from an organization that, in all likelihood, will be drafting in the 20s, if not the late 20s or early 30s. Seattle gets aggressive as they see a window with star quarterback Russell Wilson, and they add one of the premier young defenders in the NFL. Talk about a Cam Chancellor replacement, huh? Now, corner is still a bit of a red flag. Maybe Seattle could get creative. Maybe Quandre Diggs or Marquise Blair goes to play nickel corner. Jamal Adams, he'll be a strong safety for them, but he's a playmaker. He will rush. He will cover tight ends. Could be a George Kittle stopper. He'll blitz as well. He's going to do everything for them. The Jets, meanwhile, perhaps McDougald will start. He could at least be a stopgap option. Marcus May could re-sign in the near future. He's in the last year of his contract. They drafted Ashton Davis in round 3 this year. He's a potential future starter at free safety. So for the Jets, they got the haul. McDougald, a nice addition, but this was really about the draft picks. That's what the Jets wanted. If they were going to move on from a superstar young player, they needed draft capital, and boy, did they get it. 2 first-round picks, significantly more than what, say, Minkah Fitzpatrick went for in his trade with the Dolphins and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So who do you think won this particular trade? I'm going to make this the pinned comment on the video. So scroll on down if you get the ad break here on YouTube and cast your votes. J for the Jets and S for Seattle. Now some more on the Adams trade, namely that not everyone is super happy. This was Jamal Adams' kind of farewell post that he put on Twitter saying he loves the fans. He'll have a special place in his heart forever. Thanks for the love and support. Now, Jets fans, looking at his replies, weren't happy and are not happy with Jamal Adams, and I certainly understand why. Meanwhile, Lev Bell was subtweeting Jamal Adams, not adding him, by the way, saying, people do all the hooting and hollering to get you brought in just to leave. People be weird, The internet got these dudes doing whatever for attention, even when they tell you, bleep, they don't believe themselves. Jamal Adams quote tweeted it with noted, see you week 14, to which Lev Bell then responded, noted what? That you lied? Please trust that it isn't noted then. And if I'm supposed to take see you in week 14 as a threat, I don't. But it's still all love, and like I told you on the phone, I want the best for you. If this is the best for you, I want it for you, bro. So kind of I guess a agreement to disagree or getting along like they used to do, at least back when they were both with the Jets. But pick a side here, because Bell's subtweeting Adams. Adams doesn't like it. Jamal's upset. Jets fans, I think, would prefer to go with Lev Bell. There is a point to be made that Le'Veon Bell also left his most recent team. It's interesting. So pick a side for me. A for Adams, B for Bell. Now, Jamal Adams' jersey's not yet on sale, though they will be shortly with our friends over at Fanatics. But Sam's on one for you Jets fans. They're up there. A whole bunch of NFL jerseys for $80. Some even cheaper than that at chatsports.com/jersey deal. A select number of rookie jerseys also available. I'll put that link in the comments, and I will get it in the description. But it's at chatsports.com/jersey deal. Go check out everything they have to offer today. Now, speaking of the Vikings, Dalvin Cook drama. Now, Cook wants an extension for Minnesota. That's not really news that Dalvin Cook wants to get paid and is threatening a holdout. What has been made interesting by this is that Mike Zimmer recently said Cook told him he was going to show up. Then NFL Network clarified, Tom Pelissero, well, it wasn't Zimmer who spoke with Cook. Running backs coach Kennedy Palomalu was told by Cook he was going to show up. Then Cook's agent, Zach Hiller, says, no, this is wrong. This is what Hiller told ESPN. First, congrats to Coach Zimmer on his well-earned extension. However, Dalvin has not spoken to him in regards to reporting to camp. We are unsure why this was said. I hope Dalvin can continue to play a major role in the Vikings' future success. Now, as for Kennedy Palomalu's part, here's what the agent had to say. Dalvin and Coach Palomalu speak often as they have a great relationship. Dalvin has never mentioned to him anything in regards to reporting to camp. I'm not sure where the miscommunication is. I hope Dalvin plays a major role in the Vikings' future success. Drama in Minnesota. Now, Cook had a fantastic year. We all know that, and he probably is looking to get paid 10 to 13, if not more, million per year. The issue for Cook is that the NFL new CBA makes it disincentivized to skip and hold out for camp. The fines that he would accrue would pretty much negate his salary this year, if, of course, he gets paid and there's a season. So if you're Cook, you're probably going to want to show up to camp. So maybe there's a couple of days where if maybe Cook thinks he can get a deal, maybe he skips the first couple of days. I don't foresee a long holdout, though, because of those fines. It's not in the good short-term interest of a player to sacrifice that money unless they're going to get paid quickly, because any money you would make on your new extension, you're also losing from those expensive fines. So will Dalvin Cook report to camp? Cast your votes for me in the comment section. Y for yes, or type N for no. Now, the Jamal Adams trade, that was a big one. There was another one, though, on Saturday involving the Miami Dolphins and the Chicago Bears. The Dolphins, they added former second-round pick Adam Shaheen in exchange for a 2021 sixth-round pick. Now, that pick is conditional. We don't know yet what those conditions are. I'll pretty much guarantee that it is either tied to either making the roster, period, or just playing time. So there's a chance it's a seventh, or maybe the Bears don't even get that pick back. Cast your votes for me as to who won this trade, by the way. M for Miami, C for Chicago, as we discuss more about Shaheen and the impact here. A conditional late-round pick, it's fine. Shaheen was a second-rounder back in 2017 out of Ashland. If you don't know what university that is, that's okay. Not many people actually do. And unfortunately for Shaheen, well, he was a bust for the Bears. He didn't make much of an impact. However, he does have a better chance to make the Dolphins roster than he did in Chicago, as you'll see once we get to the Bears depth chart here in a little bit. But Mike Gesicki's obviously going to be the starter. Shaheen will compete with Durham Smythe, and I think Michael Roberts as well, A, to make the roster, and B, to be the backup tight end. Now, Shaheen's size is indicative of a potential blocking tight end. He should be able to handle that role well. Didn't do much of it in Chicago, and really with Chicago overall, for a guy that legitimately, and I never bought into, but legitimately was hyped as a potential baby Gronk, that's career numbers from 2017, 18. That's not what you're looking. That's bad production. Maybe a change of scenery will make things work out for him. In reality, Shaheen probably wasn't going to make the roster. They paid Jimmy Graham, the Bears did, drafted Cole Kmet, added Demetrius Harris. They had players who, if not outperformed Shaheen last year, at least were the same in J.P. Holtz and Eric Saubert, who are going to be cheaper than Shaheen's going to be. The Bears will eat some dead money, not too expensive for Miami. So I don't mind this gamble for Miami, especially if that conditional pick is tied to making the roster. And look, it's going to be a sixth-round pick. Those picks don't often hit. Why not gamble on a former high-round pick? If it doesn't turn out, Miami's got all the picks they could ever want anyway. So will Adam Shaheen make the Miami Dolphins? Cast your votes for me in the comments section. If you think he will, I want you guys to type in 3. If you think he won't, I want you guys to type in the letter 4. There are also some Dolphins jerseys on sale, including Tua for under $80. Yeah, you're not going to find a better deal right there. Chatsports.com/jersey deal. Now, of course, if you're not a Dolphins fan, look, there are plenty of other ones. CeeDee Lamb, the new Rams jerseys, Aaron Donald, also under 80. Saquon Barkley for the Giants. A bunch of players for all the NFL teams. Go check out the full assortment of offerings at chatsports.com/jersey deal. And yes, I'll put that link in the comments and in the description for you guys so that all you have to do is click and then go shop. Some more news, Aldrich Rosas has been cut by the New York Football Giants. No surprise there, formally charged after being arrested in June for a hit and run. Giants wash their hands of him and move on from the former Pro Bowl kicker. They had been linked mostly on Twitter to Stephen Gostkowski because, Joe Judge, Patriots special teams coach, now the Giants head coach, would have made some sense. That is not the route, though, the Giants are choosing to go. Instead, they've added Chandler Catanzaro, the former Cardinals and Jets kicker, who technically retired last year in August, then is now back in the NFL days after the Jets released him from their retirement list. A little bit inconsistent, but the Giants need help. I would not be surprised if they also monitor the free agent market if, Chandler struggles in camp or early in the season, since there's no preseason this year. But a expected but needed move coming here from the New York Giants. Over now to Martavis Bryant. Yes, the former Raiders and Steelers receiver. There was a report a couple of weeks ago that he had applied for reinstatement. Appears to be erroneous because the updates from NFL.com are that he has not applied for reinstatement yet and probably, and is very unlikely to, actually play this season. Despite there being interest from some NFL teams, Bryant was suspended by the NFL in 2018, and to be quite honest, it's a fair question if he's going to make it back to the NFL, because there is still a process to go through for a player to be reinstated. So what do you guys think is going to happen here? Will he play again? Will Martavis Bryant get yet another chance to play in the NFL? Type 1 for yes or type 0 for no. Rounding out today's show with some notable updates on the NFL season and their plan. The training camp rosters are not going to be at 90 like they normally are. It's going to be 80 instead. Now, two important notes here in terms of getting down to 80. NFL teams can either A, cut down to 80 as soon as training camp starts, or they can wait until August 16th, aka the first padded practice, if they split up the players. For example, put the veterans in one area, rookies and quarterbacks with a different grouping. So you might see some teams try and split it up and have two different facilities and try and, even just maybe go offense, defense, or the A team and the B team, whatever it is. I think you'll see most teams trim down to 80 quickly. I will also make note the NFL is also going to allow an unlimited special injured reserve for anyone who tests positive for COVID-19 and allow teams to freely bring up and send back down practice squad players to replace them. Does allow for some additional roster flexibility. I do still wonder, though, if you could see the NFL expand rosters beyond the normal 53-man limit this season.